you know what? I need to go live, and I need to let all my supporters know that that's not true. Miss Nell don't roll like that. Miss Nell ain't playing no side chick for nobody, okay? That's just not how it go. And yeah, she's referring to Tisha K interview with Martell. No, I'm not referring to Tisha K interview with Martell. For those of you who know, I won't call no names and until I address it. Just stay tuned. Some of you.
Today's story isn't just another piece of internet drama. It's the kind of situation that completely flips everything you thought you knew. Because for the longest time, Destiny Peyton had carefully built an image. Soft-spoken, misunderstood, always caught in the middle of chaos she claimed she didn't create. People believed her. They defended her. They stood by her through every accusation that came her way. But what nobody expected, what absolutely no one saw coming, was Nell Fletcher's.
I think the thing with me and her is, she get mad when I tell her how I feel. She really dismissed to me how I really felt about the girls' trip. She's Mel. She don't want to be, nobody tell her how they feel. She don't want to be held accountable. Nell gonna tell Mel how she feel, and she's not used to that. She's used to, I don't know, do girls. I'm with you on everything, and I can't do that anymore.
Forward and refusing to stay silent any longer. And when I say she didn't hold back, I mean she tore through the narrative piece by piece, exposing things that left the internet stunned. We're not just talking about opinions or vague accusations either. We're talking receipts, messages, recordings, timelines that didn't add up. The kind of evidence that makes people stop mid-sentence and rethink everything. And by the time this story unfolds completely, you're going to realize this wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was something much deeper, much messier, and far more calculated than anyone imagined. For years, Destiny Peyton positioned herself as someone constantly under attack. If there was conflict, she somehow always found herself painted as the victim. She spoke about betrayal, about people turning on her, about being misjudged by the public. And to be fair, at first, it seemed believable. Social media can be harsh, and many people felt like Destiny was just another person caught in the spotlight, trying to defend herself against unfair criticism. Her followers rallied behind her, often shutting down anyone who questioned her version of events. To them, she wasn't the problem, she was the one being hurt. But here's where things start to get complicated. Because behind that carefully maintained image, there were whispers. Small ones at first. People who had once been close to Destiny began hinting that things weren't exactly as they seemed. Nothing concrete, just enough to make a few people curious, but not enough to shake her loyal fan base. And every time those whispers surfaced, Destiny handled them the same way. She addressed them emotionally, spoke about being misunderstood, and somehow managed to come out looking even more sympathetic than before. Meanwhile, Nell Fletcher stayed quiet. And that silence, it wasn't because she didn't have anything to say. It was because she was watching, observing, gathering everything. Nell had been close enough to see what was happening behind the scenes, close enough to notice patterns that didn't match the public narrative. But instead of rushing to social media or creating chaos, she held back. And that decision right there is what makes everything that came next so powerful. Because when someone stays silent for a long time and then finally speaks, people listen differently. At first, when Nell's name started being linked to the situation, most people didn't think much of it. They assumed it would be another back and forth, another messy online disagreement that would fade within a few days. But that assumption didn't last long. Because Nell didn't come with emotions first. she came with proof. What nobody expected was the level of detail she brought into the situation. Screenshots that directly contradicted Destiny's public statements, voice recordings that revealed conversations completely different from what had been claimed, private exchanges that painted a version of Destiny no one had seen before. And as each piece came out, the reaction was immediate. People didn't just question Destiny. They started doubting everything. Because the more Nell shared, the clearer it became that this wasn't just about a few misunderstandings. This was about manipulation. There were conversations where Destiny spoke negatively about people she later publicly supported. Situations where she allegedly played both sides, telling different stories to different people. And perhaps the most shocking part? Moments where she seemed fully aware of how her actions would be perceived, yet continued anyway. It was like watching two completely different versions of the same person collide. On one side, the Destiny the public knew. Vulnerable, emotional, always defending herself. On the other side, the Destiny Nell was exposing. Strategic, calculated, and fully in control of the narrative she was presenting. And once that contrast became visible, it was impossible to ignore. But here's the twist that made everything even more intense. Other voices started coming forward. At first, it was subtle. A comment here, a small confirmation there. But gradually, people who had once stayed quiet began sharing their own experiences. Some of them backed up Nell's claims, describing similar situations where they felt misled or manipulated. Others revealed that they had distanced themselves from Destiny long before this situation exploded, but never felt comfortable speaking about it publicly. And suddenly, what started as one person speaking out turned into something much bigger. It became a pattern. The internet, which had once been firmly on Destiny's side, started shifting. Not all at once, but enough to make a noticeable difference. People began revisiting old clips, old statements, old situations that didn't make sense at the time, but now seemed to fit into a much larger picture. And as that picture became clearer, the support Destiny once relied on started to crack. Now, in situations like this, the response matters just as much as the accusations. So what did Destiny do? She went on the defensive. Instead of addressing the specific claims, she focused on discrediting Nell. She suggested that the entire situation was fueled by jealousy, by personal issues, by misunderstandings blown out of proportion. She tried to shift the focus away from the evidence and onto the intentions behind it. But here's the problem with that approach. When there's actual proof involved, it's not enough. People weren't just listening to words anymore. They were looking at receipts. And the more Destiny tried to explain things without directly addressing the contradictions, the more questions it raised. Why didn't the timelines match? Why were there conversations that told a completely different story? Why did certain patterns keep repeating? And most importantly, why did so many people suddenly have similar experiences? At that point, the situation had gone far beyond a simple disagreement. It had turned into a full-blown unraveling of a carefully built image. And once that process starts, it's incredibly difficult to stop. Because people don't just forget what they've seen. They analyze it, they discuss it, they share it. And in today's world, once something gains that level of attention, it spreads faster than anyone can control. But beyond all the public drama, there's a deeper layer to this story that often gets overlooked: the emotional impact. Because no matter how you look at it, situations like this leave damage behind. For Nell, speaking out wasn't just about exposing the truth. It came with its own consequences. Pressure, backlash, scrutiny, everything that comes with stepping into the spotlight and challenging a widely accepted narrative. even with evidence on her side, it wasn't an easy position to be in. For Destiny, the impact was just as intense, but in a completely different way. Watching an image you've built over years start to fall apart, seeing supporters turn into skeptics, realizing that every word you say is now being questioned, that kind of shift doesn't happen without emotional weight. And then there are the people around them. Friends caught in the middle, relationships strained by conflicting loyalties, supporters trying to figure out what to believe. Because when something like this unfolds publicly, it doesn't just affect the main individuals. It ripples outward, touching everyone connected to the situation. Careers can shift. Reputations can change overnight. And trust, once broken, is one of the hardest things to rebuild. But here's what really makes this story stick. It's not just about who was right or wrong. It's about perception. For so long, people believed they understood who Destiny Peyton was. They connected with her story, supported her struggles, defended her when things got difficult. And then, almost suddenly, they were faced with a completely different version of that same person. And that kind of realization, it doesn't just create doubt, it creates reflection. Because it forces people to ask themselves how much of what they see online is real and how much is carefully presented. As for what happens next, that's the part no one can predict with certainty. Will Destiny find a way to rebuild her image? Will she address everything directly and try to regain trust? Or will this moment define her going forward? And what about Nell? Will she continue to reveal more, or has she already said everything she needed to say? One thing is clear, though. This story isn't fading anytime soon. Because when the truth starts coming out, real truth, backed by evidence, it has a way of changing everything. And once people see behind the curtain, they don't forget what was revealed. So now the question is, where do you stand? Do you believe this was all a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control? Or do you think this was something that had been hidden for far too long?